Hi, my name's Jeff Tedesco. I'm president and owner of ReadyToPlay. I want to thank you for using our service to rip all of your CDs. In this video, we're going to show you how to bring your files in off a USB drive and load them into iTunes on a Windows-based machine. So let's get started. You should have received a disk drive from us. This happens to be a Seagate expansion drive, 1 terabyte, but you may have received a Toshiba or a Buffalo drive. But nonetheless, unpack it from the box, and what I'd like you to do is plug it into the USB port on your computer. Then, let's go over to our Windows machine, and we'll start first by opening iTunes, and this is the new version 11.0. Now you'll see that you already have some music in there, so I'm making the assumption that you already have music files there that you either downloaded or ripped yourself. What you'd like to do is add the music I did for you from ReadyToPlay. So the first thing we're going to do is go to the Edit portion of the menu and then go down to Preferences. The first tab you'll see is under Preferences is under the General tab, and there's a thing called Import Settings. Import Settings will be for future CDs that you might want to rip. If you click on this button, you'll see it's preset for AAC encoder 128. This is not the preferred format that we'd like to see you rip in. In fact, if we've done Apple Lossless for you, you'll see, if you click on this, that Apple Lossless encoder is available. As well, you can rip future CDs in MP3, but you have to pick one format. In this case, we're going to pick Apple Lossless and say OK. The second setting that you want to set is from the Advanced tab. So if you click on that, you're going to see the first thing is an iTunes media folder location. And this is where all the files will go when you rip future CDs. There's also two boxes checked here. One that says Keep iTunes Media Folder Organized and Copy Files to iTunes Media Folder when adding to library. Let's uncheck those and leave them blank so that we can bring in the files manually, and we'll leave the folder structure exactly as it should be as we provided it to you. Then you say OK. Now we've got iTunes all ready to bring the files in. Now what I want to do is, using your Windows machine, we're going to open up, first of all, the expansion drive. If you go to My Computer, you'll see that the expansion drive has shown up here on the Explorer. Click on Expansion Drive and you'll see one or two folders. Now in this case we did an Apple rip, Apple Lossless rip, and an MP3 rip. In this case what I want to do is bring the MP3s in. You can easily bring in the Apple Lossless as an alternative. Alright, so that's on the expansion drive. Let's go find where our music location is. On Windows it's fairly straightforward. If you go up to My Music, click on it, you'll see a folder immediately called iTunes. I want you to open that. Then you'll see a folder called iTunes Music. And here are the files that you've already ripped or downloaded yourself. What we're going to do is have in one window that C drive location, and the other windows are expansion drive. I want you to take the MP3 folder, highlight it, right click, press copy, go over to your C drive, and press paste. Now it'll begin copying. We've just done a small amount of albums here to give you an idea, but you'll end up with an MP3 copy or folder here that's a copy of everything on the disk drive. And when it's done copying, then we'll be ready to bring the files into iTunes. All right? For the sake of speed, I think I'm going to just cancel it, but what you want to do is let it run fully through until everything's copied. So now you'll see that we have a folder called MP3. Your expansion drive will act as your backup, so let's close that. We'll leave that folder open. Now all your files are backed up on the expansion drive, but also on the C drive of your computer. I'm going to go down, open iTunes. I'm going to do a little house cleaning here, set it up. So there's iTunes. Here's your C drive with the MP3 folder, and you simply highlight it and drag it into iTunes. Now you'll see a notification that says it's adding files. And now we've added all the new files. So now We had 29 albums before. You should have more albums because of all the files that we ripped, and they're all added. And you can now see all your songs. And then you can switch it to albums and see with all the cover art. You can work by artist and see all of your artists here on the left side. Or you can sort it by genre. Here we have blues, Christmas, concerto, electronica. So now, take a look at it, play with your files, enjoy your music, and thanks for working with us at Ready to Play.